Hey everybody, welcome to Battlefield Production live stream. Today is Veterans Voices, and I have a special guest with me. He served with me in 26 Cav, and his name is Adam Lutsch, and he's going to tell stories about his life in the military, life after the military, and dealing with loss. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and introduce Adam Lutsch, aka MC Desperado. Welcome, Adam.
Hey, thanks, Hodges. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great.
All right. So, let's start off with when did you join the military? Why did you join the military?
So I joined in January of 2003, and I graduated high school in 2001, and I knew I wanted to go into the military, but my mom was like probably a little bit afraid, so she's like, "Well, just go to 1 year of college and see how you like it," type of thing.
Mhm. Right.
And I had fun while I was there, but I wasn't really, trying to be there. So after that year, I went back to Kentucky. Where I was basically raised in Louisville, Kentucky, and decided I was going to go into the Marines first. That was my
Hmm.
first choice, and then talked to the recruiter and changed my mind and said, you know what, I'm going to go to the Navy. Went and talked to the Navy recruiter, changed my mind, and said, you know what, I'm going to go to the Army. And yeah, and so I enlisted as a heavy wheel vehicle mechanic, 63 Sierra
Hmm.
in 2003.
Okay. So, was your mom reluctant of you going into the military because of what happened on 9/11?
I think so. Yeah, I think she knew that, there was probably going to be some overseas combat when you join in a time like that. So, um, yeah, I think she just had like a little bit of fear. But when I told her I wanted to go and I was actually going to the recruiters and serious, she was all about it and supported me. So,
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. So it's always good to have that family support.
Oh yeah, yeah. My brother was all about it too. I mean, they knew I wanted to go, so
Hmm. Did you have any reluctancy joining after 9/11 yourself, or were you like
no.
gung
You know
ho? I
what? I
want
mean,
to
I
do
was like I said, I was gonna go anyway when I went to Western Kentucky University that year after high school. I was just going because to make my mom happy. I knew I was gonna go to the military, but so even seeing, I mean, I remember seeing that. I was in class and the teacher said, "Hey, there's some stuff going on that's on TV. If you want to go to the in the room next door, you can watch it." And then we went and
it. Right.
saw it. And yeah, I mean, we were blown away by it. But I wasn't more like gung ho per se, like to go. I knew I was already going. So, but
Right.
I think when you get into something like that, you're kind of just I wanting to learn something. I wanting to meet new people. I wanting to go to new places, and right off the bat, you get to go to a training facility that's most people it's not in the same state they're from. So
Right.
you're traveling airport and all that. So yeah, I went to
Yeah.
Fort Benning, Georgia was my basic training.
Hmm. And was AIT the same? Was it OSIT training for you, or did you go
No,
someplace else for the pre?
AIT was yeah, AIT was in Fort Jackson, South Carolina. Um,
Okay.
but I ended up getting instead of going straight from I don't know if did you go straight from basic training to AIT or did you have a break between?
Oh yeah, I had gone straight through. It wasn't until after I graduated that I had the hometown hero, where you go back and
Hometown
you.
recruiting. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's what it was. Hometown recruiting.
Yeah,
You go
yeah.
back for like a couple weeks and do that.
Yeah. But yeah, and,
Okay.
and I was in Fort Benning, Georgia in January. So I mean, I'm sure anybody from Georgia knows it's cold as heck there. I mean, you're out there in these sweatpants and a t-shirt, sweatshirt. You're
Right.
thinking that you're thinking that you're gonna be all right, but you're just cold as heck the whole time.
Hmm.
And then
So
and then I sorry, go ahead.
yeah, no, you go ahead. You go ahead.
And then I went from Fort Benning to Fort Jackson, and Fort Jackson. I mean, the weather there in South Carolina was beautiful, and coming from Fort Benning was like a little bit more strict. It seemed like. I mean, even though I know basic training is more strict, but when we got to Fort Jackson, we just heard it was like the relax in Jackson. Like you're there in training, but you're still in a relaxed kind of atmosphere,
Hmm.
and it kind of felt like that when I got there. So it was a little bit of a sigh of relief.
Right.
But the funny part is that remember Carter, Brandon
Hmm.
Carter, the guy
Hmm.
who served with us. So
Yeah.
I actually, he was in another platoon in my basic training. I never talked to him, but then us both having the same MOS as mechanics, we both go to Fort Jackson, and we're in the
Hmm.
same platoon. And then we start talking, and
Hmm.
before you know it, because so before the army and when I was in high school, I would do a little hip hop, dabble here and there, mostly
Right.
freestyle, hardly ever written anything. But
Hmm.
I did make some tracks, some songs like right before I went to the army. So me and Carter were listening to it, and he was like, "Oh, dude," he's like, "We got to do music together," because he was a hip hop head.
Yeah.
So yeah, we started there, and then um, let's see. Yeah, after AIT, I got that hometown recruiting and was able to spend like 14 days at home before
Yeah.
heading to Fort Hood.
Yeah. Yeah. And then that's where we met up. Fort Hood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we were
And
some youngins, huh?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Take us through like what was Fort Hood? What was because when we got to Fort Hood, we weren't known really as 26 Cav yet because we had been deactivated. 26 Cav had for a while, and then they reactivated us. So 21st Cav was training us. So what was Fort Hood like? What was the training like over there?
So, I mean, Fort Hood, the heat is like the first thing that comes to mind. The heat, I mean,
Right.
dude, it was like blazing there. I mean, that
Yeah.
was something I'd never felt before. That heat, that dry heat, I guess. I don't know. However you
Hmm.
describe it, it eats you up, you know what I mean? So,
Right.
but the good thing about it is that because, like you said, we were just like activating, there really weren't that many soldiers or anything in the unit. So we would just wake up in the morning, go report to this office, sometimes
Hmm.
sit in the office like all day, if I can remember,
Right.
and you would
Yeah.
just sit there in this big room and just so they knew everybody was there because you had nothing to do. You had no vehicles yet. You had no platoon sergeants. You had nothing. You just had
Yeah.
a bunch of privates and a few specialists and maybe one sergeant. So
Right.
it was like your activity that throughout that day was just like taking lunch break and going to the dining facility.
Yeah. Pretty
You
much
know
for
what I
the whole
mean?
day. Pretty much for the whole
Yeah, for
day.
the
Hey,
whole
like,
day.
hey, call me if you need me. I'm just
Yeah,
gonna go to
and
lunch for.
we were all young. We were all
Mhm.
like probably 19, 20. I'm sure there might have been some kids even 18 there. But
Mhm.
I mean, I know when we got there, all our rooms are completely bare. We were living
Mhm.
in those old barracks. You remember
Yeah.
that?
Oh yeah,
Where
the
we,
World War II barracks. Yeah,
yeah, where I'm like, did we even have hot water? I don't even remember. Like,
I think we did.
I don't think we had hot water
Yeah.
there. Like
Yeah.
this was the worst barracks ever. They just stick us in this like hole in the wall and a bunch of young kids, and we're like, well, I
Yeah.
mean, so I mean, I don't know about you, but like once we figured out that we can go off base and we can have fun. I mean, then it was a different story.
Right.
Then it was a different
Right.
story. Then we were just. I mean, I don't really remember. like I remember when I turned 21 and I could go to the store on base and buy liquor, but you're in the army. I'm sure everybody that been in the military knows you don't have to be 21 to drink. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Everybody's just 90% of the people are just drinking and having fun, and we're hanging out with different people. You got
Mhm.
one guy from Guam, you got one guy from New York, you got one guy from
Yeah.
Kentucky, one guy from Texas. I mean, it's just
Yeah. Yeah. You had a
crazy.
whole mixture of different people, and I think the best person that we had that was the most hilarious to me was Head. Remember Head? Jason Jason
Yeah.
Head. Do you
Oh
remember
yeah.
that
He was
time
from.
that remember that time that one of the staff sergeants, I can't remember who it was, but came in and was like, "Hey, yeah, I'm looking for Head. Anybody seen Head?" And we're like, "Nope, you can't find it here." You know? And
Uh,
he knows, I'm looking for Specialist Head. Oh, we thought you were talking about something else. Yeah, he's down here. You know?
yeah, yeah. That guy
Uh,
was from. He was from Arizona. I remember him.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I remember he was a big time drinker. Like you talk
Oh
about
yeah. He could.
you,
He
you
could.
talk
He could
about
drink.
drinking. Oh, he could drink. I
Him
I
and
remember.
him and what's his name, DeFore, and some
Yeah,
other
yeah,
kid. Man,
before. Yeah,
man, they could. I'm talking about like they would do it to maybe challenge themselves or something, and then
right,
10
right.
seconds later, they're just like
Yeah.
floored.
Oh yeah, I remember Head came back one time. He was at the bar, came back, was walking across the parking lot, stopped, puked, looked at his watch and goes, "Yeah, the bar's still open." Turned around and went back to the bar.
Oh
And I was
dang!
like, "What are you doing, man?" I
Oh
was
my
like,
god,
those are some of the memories we had, and oh man, like I remember I think we had like so many piss tests because there was
dude!
if it wasn't alcohol, somebody was doing drugs somewhere.
Yeah, and the thing is that they knew that okay, it was a unit. Remember, I mean, we're all like
Mhm.
everybody. Almost 90% of the people were under 25,
Right.
right? So it's like a lot of the kids were just like, let's do something here. And once one person got caught with, I mean, what I remember this one kid, he got caught with like a cigarette case full of like either acid or
Mhm.
Molly or some one of them things, something like
Something
that,
like that, yeah.
like a roll or whatever, something like that. And once he got popped, it was just like I mean, dude, they were trying to give people court martials for failing a urinalysis for marijuana.
Yeah.
I mean, literally,
Yeah.
it's like you could have been. There was at one point in time where they were just like, we're just going to weed some of these people out, and they were really targeting some good soldiers. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like what's his name? What's his name? The guy that was in the motor pool. Couple people actually
Yeah.
failed urinalysis, right?
Mhm.
First offense ever. Was a great mechanic, great soldier, always had his uniform pressed, his boots shined, and they gave
Yeah.
him a court martial, dude.
Oh, yeah.
And we even had like a bunch of people go in and speak on his behalf, and they still threw the hammer at him, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like,
There's 0 tolerance. We're
yeah,
getting, but
yeah,
then it all changed. Like we thought we were wild when we were in Fort Hood, but then we got to Illesheim, Germany. And
oh,
tell us a little bit about your experience in
oh
Illesheim,
man,
Germany, where there was no drinking age. There was like no speed limit on the autobahn. Like tell us what did you do there? what were your experiences in
Well,
Illesheim?
I know we all had that local bar that we would go to in Bad Windsheim,
Oh,
which is like
good fajitas. Yeah, I remember
graffitis. Yeah, there we
that.
go. So everybody that was in 11th Aviation Regiment, or probably everybody that was stationed at Illesheim, Germany, knew about graffitis. And so I think that might have been like the second or third night we were there. A group of us went. We're like, man, this place is awesome. It's like a really cool local German bar. They had a couple pool tables, a dart board, maybe two dart boards, those electrical dart boards. And
Yeah,
dude, I mean, we would just catch cabs there like on the daily.
yeah,
And the dangerous part about that is that I don't know if anybody that's listened to the podcast knows about absinthe,
oh
but
yeah,
when you're in Germany, that's like the drink that is like the forbidden drink, right? And they
yeah.
say that because once you take one shot of absinthe, most of the time you're probably not going to remember anything after that. You take two shots, oh yeah, you're donezo. You won't remember anything. You might pee in a MP car or throw up in an MP car. All
Are,
right,
are we
listen.
talking about? Are we talking about experience here?
Yeah, we're listen. Okay, so listen to this. I hadn't messed with the absinthe because I was like, I'm not going to touch it. I was just drinking Hefeweizen.
Mhm.
And so one night we're with these civilian mechanics that worked in the motor pool, and they're like, "Yeah, well, we'll buy a round of drinks." And they come bring these drinks, and we didn't know they were absinthe. We thought it was like the licorice liqueur that they drink.
Yeah.
So we take a double shot of that, and I don't remember the rest of the night. But according to the MPs, which were awesome in Germany, and actually they took care of us. So we got to the base, right? They
Right.
knew that me and my girlfriend at the time were so drunk that they were like, you know what, we're gonna give you guys a ride to your barracks. So we
Mhm.
get in the car. From the time we get to the barracks, like 5 minute drive, I've I think I've threw up in the car. I threw up in the car. She peed in her pants in the car. But we didn't know this at the time, right? And the
Right.
MP just took the car back and let us go in, and
Right.
and we wake up in the morning, and I wake up in the morning and somebody's knocking on my door. I look through the people, it's my sergeant. He's like, Lutsch, did you go out last night? I go, yeah, I think so. Why? He goes, the MP said you pee or poop or threw up in the car or something. I'm like, what? So long story short, that once they heard about this, not my sergeant, but the higher ups were like, oh, well, then take him to get a breathalyzer because if he's drunk right now, then he's drunk on duty,
Oh,
right? So they take me to the MP station. They give me a breathalyzer there. They try to say I was drunk on duty. Luckily, I looked in the UMCJ, or whatever, Uniform Code of Military Justice, that book,
right. Yeah.
and I found out that they were wrong because they
Mhm.
gave me the breathalyzer before the formation. It wasn't drunk on duty.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yeah, so they were so mad that I figured that out. They were like, you still got 45 days extra duty, and you're losing your rank. I mean,
Yeah.
if I were to count how many times I lost my rank in the army, I'd be like E6 probably.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I got promoted more times than a sergeant major did. So.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
funny.
So, so once we're in Germany, did you get to participate in any of those programs that they have for like single soldiers where you got to go on trips and do specialized things?
No, I never heard of that. I was
Oh.
definitely left out of the loop on that.
Oh, I'll have to have a conversation with Jenkins because
Yeah.
yeah,
But I mean,
they're
I mean, Germany was awesome. I mean, beautiful country. I
yeah,
rode that train everywhere. I mean, it was great. You can ride the train to Frankfurt, ride it to, what was that place that always had the carnivals and the beer gardens? Würzburg or Nuremberg.
Würzburg, yeah, Nuremberg,
Nuremberg.
Würzburg,
Yeah.
Spartanburg.
I mean, dude,
Yeah,
that place, yeah, Rothenburg. I love
yeah,
that place. It's like
yeah,
the city with the wall around it.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So, um, in comparison, I mean, I know Germany's a lot smaller in comparison to the United States, but uh, I I would say I think that their public transportation was a lot more um, better. I know
Oh yeah.
that's not really a word, but
Oh yeah, dude.
was
It's so much cleaner. It's like so much more efficient. And
yeah,
even I mean, all their restaurant or restrooms there, what do they call them? Water closets.
yeah,
You know, even though you have to pay like, what was it, 25 or 35 cents sometimes to use the
yeah,
bathroom. You'd be into
right,
McDonald's and they'd be like, oh, 35 cents euros. And you're like, all right. You know, you go in, but it's super nice, you know.
yeah, super nice, super clean. Yeah,
Hmm.
I enjoyed the public transportation because I mean, you could take the train just about anywhere, and then from the train, you know, you could either walk to your destination or you could easily catch a cab, and pricing
Yeah.
wasn't too hard, you know.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of soldiers in Illisheim didn't even own cars or
No, I mean, usually only people that tried to own a car were if they were a married couple and they lived off base. You
right.
know, it just made it easier for them to go ahead and, you know, drive to and from work. But I mean, I've rented a car a few times just to like experience the Autobahn or actually there was a dude in my platoon, Farrell. Remember he started
Oh yeah,
boxing?
yeah,
So he started boxing and he would go to different bases and boxed people, you know, at these events at these different bases in Germany. And I remember me and somebody, I forgot who, rented a car to go watch him fight. And I mean, just to experience the Autobahn and be able to drive that fast, it's like crazy. I'm driving this like Ford station wagon getting passed up going like 85, 90. You know what I mean? And then the Swiss Alps. Okay, so remember, I don't know if you knew, but Garmisch part of Kirchner. Did you ever go there?
I believe so. I
It's
know.
like where it had the Swiss. It's part of the Swiss Alps. So you go
Yeah,
there. You know, you rent a car and drive there and get a hotel room. And I mean, dude, you could stay in the nicest hotel room there for under 120 euro a night, just because
yeah,
it was so cheap. And then you go ski on these like Black Diamond, which is like the most expert, mogul type of hills.
yeah.
You're going down there and experiencing some stuff that you would never see.
Hmm.
Like you could go in Utah and Denver and probably see some nice slopes, but nothing like
Yeah,
that.
right. Hey, what's up, Callie? So, hello to everybody that's in chat. We have Callie, Moose Man, Rabid, Coyote, Buff, also known as Sick 2210, and Arky Outdoors. Hey, Joe, good to see you. Much love and God bless you all. Um, for those of you that are just joining, this is Adam Lutsch. He served with me, and he's telling his story about his service. He's also a freestylist, has a few tracks out there, also known as MC Desperado, and we're just letting him tell his story about what he's seen, what he's done. Um, so then, you know, how many times did you deploy, Adam?
Just once to
Okay.
Afghanistan, OEF 6.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So that was the one deployment experience for you. So tell us
Yeah.
about your experience on deployment. What did you do over there? And
Well, I mean, I could start with just, coming in a C-17. Anybody that doesn't know, when you enter these places like combat zones and you're in a C-17 and it's at night, all the lights turn off. They don't tell you, right? So you're just sitting there, all the lights turn off, and they start doing these evasive maneuvers, and you're like, are we going down? I mean, did we get shot at? But they're like, oh no, we're just doing it so they can't like shoot RPGs at us. Oh, cool. Like that sounds great. And then
Right.
I don't know about you, but when I got there, I don't know which flight you were on. I can't remember, but I remember when we got there, it was at night.
Mhm.
And so, you fly into this airfield, Bagram, Afghanistan. You can't see anything. You don't know what's going on. You just move into a tent and go to sleep. So it's like,
Yeah.
I remember that right then was a little bit like, damn, like, what's going on? I mean, you knew you were going there, but you couldn't see anything.
Mhm.
And so, I mean, for like the first, I think, few weeks, we were staying in these tents and basically not doing anything. We were just waiting for the unit to move out of these little, bee huts is what they call them.
Mhm.
These little miniature houses that were built out of plywood. And so I remember we got in there and you could fit, let's see, 8 people in each bee hut, right?
Yeah.
Four on the left and four on the right, if I can
Right.
remember.
Yeah. And you had
And
this very small hallway.
yeah, so small, yeah. And then you remember the terrain there on
Oh,
Bagram? I mean, I know a lot of places were a little different, but
right.
Bagram was just like rock city, dude.
Yeah.
Like you cannot walk anywhere without like walking through boulders. I'm like, they couldn't have ground these rocks up a little bit more and make some pebbles. No, they want you to just wake up in the middle of the night at like 3 o'clock, walk to the porta potty, and then twist your ankle in flip flops.
Right. Right. Yeah.
And then they want to deny you when you want to get it claimed for a disability. No, sir, we don't remember those rocks being there.
Right. You weren't injured by the enemy. No,
Yeah,
maybe that was an enemy rock. I don't know.
yeah. But I remember like the whole thing that we were gonna do, like while we were there, since we were gonna have to be there, right? It was gonna suck. We didn't really know what we were gonna do because we were a support unit. I mean, we were in headquarters, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm a mechanic, but they're not really driving these trucks like off base. Once they figured out that IEDs were a problem, they stopped really driving the trucks on convoys as much as they could. So
Mhm.
we're just like, well, I guess we'll just go to the gym and, you
Mhm.
know, try and get swole. So
Yeah.
we would just like go to the gym and then we would then after like a month or two it started to get a little normal. I
Mhm.
mean, I don't know how you felt, but it kind of like, you would start doing your daily job like, oh, well, let's just do preventive maintenance on the trucks. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
I mean, half of the stuff we were doing was just to stay busy. I mean, we
Yeah.
were in the attack helicopter unit, but I mean, we had nothing to do with the helicopters. So it's like,
Mm.
you know, or I didn't, you know what I mean?
Right. Right. Yeah.
But
I mean, most of the people that had the fun was, you know, uh, the pilots had the fun. The fuelers had more of the fun.
yeah,
Mechanics didn't really have that much fun. I mean,
no,
other
I
than
mean,
keeping the fuel trucks, running and stuff like that. Yeah, I guess you
yeah,
guys worked on
but to
that.
be honest with you, I mean, once it started getting like a little repetitive, I was like, I got to find something to volunteer for. I need a
Right,
mission. I need a mission to
right.
go on. And so
Yeah,
they would do like the humanitarian missions where they would go with like some special forces groups and go
right,
up into a little city and give away like, hygiene products and stuff like that.
right, right.
And for me, like when I went on that was the funnest thing, because
Yeah,
I'm driving an up armored vehicle, like going through a city called Charkar, which I remember. Like before we went, they briefed us. They were like, "Oh, we've had incoming sniper fire in this city, so keep the convoy interval close." Which means like when you're going through this city, you're all the way up on their ass. Like you
yeah,
don't want to have any daylight between you and the other car. And we're
yeah,
just going through, you're flying, hitting speed bumps in these up armored cars that are like way overweight. And
right.
then, but when you get to like the city, I remember because they were like, you want to give out stuff or you want to pull security? And I'm like, come on, I want to pull security. That's why I volunteered. I want to, play this army game. Come on, dude. I'm
Right.
I'm strapped up with the M16. Let me full security.
All right. Right.
So I'm like looking around trying to find a place to like get my bearings and where I can go. And I find this like little store that's like, I don't know, made out of like stucco or what, or mud or something. And I
Hmm.
go inside and I'm looking around and I see the guy who owns the store and he comes up to me and he doesn't speak a lick of English and I don't speak Farsi or whatever they were speaking in
Pashto.
Afghanistan.
Yeah.
But I was like, I was like, I want to give you money to let me stay in here and pull security, right? And
Hmm.
he's like, what? And he takes like the $5 or whatever I gave him, or 15. I don't even remember what I gave him. And he was like, oh yeah. And he's like pointing around his store, like, you take whatever you want. Like, here, this $5 will cover a whole bunch. Like, I'm like, no, I don't. I don't want anything. I was like, I'm gonna stay here and pull security. And he was eventually like, all right, fine. You don't want
Yeah.
anything. Like, just stay here. And
Right.
so I'm just staying there. Nothing ever happened. Like, there was a
Hmm.
couple shady characters that we thought might were gonna do something, but once like you start to be able to tell, like once a lot of people hear that we're at the city, you see like there's less children, and once you get like the older people start coming in, then you like, all right, there's more of a chance that they could be the enemy or whatever, right?
Right. Right.
And so then we would be like, all right, let's get the heck up out of here.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was one of the times I volunteered and had like at least a little bit of excitement, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
And then another time was you want me to tell the story of it or
Yeah. You. Yeah.
okay. All right. So the other time was I forgot what we were even doing. Like I really don't even remember us doing anything. Maybe we were flying to like go fix a fueler, like one of the fuel pumps that was supposed to fuel the helicopter at a fob or something. But me and Sergeant Devasty, which was the motor pool sergeant, we hop in this Black Hawk and we're going to this fob and we make a few drops, like dropping people off and picking people up. And when we get to this one, dude, this place was out in the middle of nowhere. It was like, I mean, probably somewhere near Bagram, but just a forward operation base. And they didn't really have a perimeter set up. They just had like some Constantine wire going
Yeah.
around it, and that was it. And so we take off from there, and it's like probably less than a minute as soon as we're outbound. All of a sudden, you feel the helicopter starting to do circles and shooting the flares off, and I'm like, what the hell? So they're like, they tell us like, hey, open up your doors. There's some guys down there, and we want to make sure they know that we see them. Like, we don't want to just fly over top of them and let them shoot us. You know what I mean? Type of thing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so we open the doors on the Blackhawk, and they're like, lock and load, and we lock and load, and these guys that were just like getting out of their like stereotypical Taliban Toyota truck, you know what I mean? They
Yeah.
get
White.
out.
Was it
Yeah,
white?
I don't even remember what the color was. So they get out, and then they see we're doing the circles, and we're shooting off the flares, and they didn't even raise their weapons, and they were like, "Ah, fuck, we're getting back in," because like we had like four people that were ready to dump with M16s, and the gunner who was on the gunner for the Blackhawk. I don't know
Right.
what they had at the time, but yeah, we were just gonna. I mean, I was like, "Fuck, here we go," let's go.
Yeah.
And nothing happened. We do circles and then we start flying off some more, and we made it back safe. But
Right.
but I was like, "Oh man, we almost had some excitement."
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Pucker up your butthole kind of moment. Like, oh
Yeah,
man. Oh
yeah.
man.
And then there was a few times like the airfield would get hit with mortars.
Taliban
In
Toyota.
Bagram, they would get hit with
Yeah.
mortars a bunch,
Mhm.
and
Oh yeah.
we weren't really directly hit. You would just kind of hear it and have to go in the bunker type of thing.
Right. Yeah.
But
Yeah. Usually because I mean, Taliban were pretty innovative. Like they would set
Oh
up
yeah.
on the mountain somewhere, and they'd have a timer set off, and
Yeah, yeah, they had a timer, yeah.
yeah, and it would shoot it off at some time, and we're all rushing to the bunker. Some of us are like naked, just with
Yeah.
our body armor on and boots, and we're just running,
Uh-huh.
to it. Uh, Not saying it from experience. I wasn't fully naked, but I was out there with just my tidy whities on, running out there, K-pot, vest, rifle, boots. That's it. I was like, I didn't have time to get anything on, but and then um, I was telling somebody that they had installed uh, like warning, sirens and a system that actually could pick it up before it hit. So then we would hear the mortar sirens go
Shit,
off.
not no, I'm telling you, look, there sorry, I didn't mean to cuss. But
Oh,
no,
no, you're
look,
good.
I remember look, I can say it now because I don't can't get in trouble for it, but so when I was in Afghanistan, I was like, you know how they had the local nationals that would come on and like stack the Coke cans and the defact or do stuff like that.
Oh
So
yeah,
there was this kid and he was like, I can get you hashish, mister. I can get you hashish. And I was like, all right, cool. Go get me some hashish. So I was sitting there one night smoking the hashish blunt in the back of the motor pool because I knew nobody would be there, right?
right.
I just finished. I put on my headphones. I'm like drinking a soda or something like that. And I heard like I'm like boom. I'm like, what the fuck? So I take my headphones off and I'm like, are we because I had no experience with it. I was like, are we
Yeah.
shooting out stuff or are they shooting in? And the sirens hadn't gone off yet. And I'm
Oh,
talking about like 7 or 8, right? And they I knew that a couple of them were close because you can hear the whistle on the ones that are a little bit further away, but the
right,
closer they are, you can't hear the whistle when they're incoming. So all
right.
you hear is the explosion. And I was like, all right, I'm out of here. So I start walking back to the B hut where we were living. And right when I get across the street, then the sirens went off. And I was like, okay, I knew I wasn't that high.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I mean,
Oh man.
that was probably, I mean, I don't know if anybody that's listening has ever smoked hashish, but it's like, comes from the opium plant, and I think it's some sort of like THC resin or something like that,
Mhm.
and you just get like extremely stoned off of it.
Yeah.
And the smell of it is so potent. It's like 17 skunks, right? So I'm sure that when I was smoking that in Afghanistan, somebody smelled it and was like, let's give this whole unit urinalysis ASAP. Do you remember?
Eh, oh,
Do you remember when they had us do a urinalysis in Afghanistan?
oh, yeah, yeah. I thought that was weird.
Yeah, they
I
were
was like,
trying to
why are
get
we
me.
doing this?
Look, and the funny part is that I didn't fail that one somehow.
Oh,
Even though I was smoking the heck out of that hashish, I just somehow didn't fail it. Oh, but listen to what First Sergeant Marlowe tried to do. About a week or so after we had the urinalysis, one of my sergeants, hey Lutsch, First Sergeant Marlowe wants to see you in the company office.
hashish is not opiate related. It's weed
Weed
rubbing.
rubbings. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
There we go.
Thanks, Moose man.
Thanks,
Yeah, we're
brother.
not experts.
Yeah, no, I had no idea. I just knew it was kind of like weed.
Yeah.
All right, so First Sergeant Marlowe wants to see me in the company office, and I go in, and I was uh, kind of nervous because I thought I might have failed it. And so I'm figuring this is how they're going to tell me. I go in and he goes, Lutch, got bad news. He goes, I got bad news. You failed the urinalysis. And I was thinking in my head, you know what? What if he's trying to trick me and I didn't? So I was like,
Right.
no, I didn't fail it. Oh, you didn't? No, I know. And then 2 seconds later, he goes, oh, just kidding. Just joking with you. And so he was somehow I passed it, and he was trying to get me to say that I failed it.
Yeah. Yeah. Somehow he was like, I know you smoked something.
Oh yeah, he knew because I'm sure when I was because I would go smoke at night. Like I wouldn't do it during the day. I'd do it like 11 o'clock at night. I'd go smoke, and I'm sure there must have been somebody that was on some sort of night shift that had smelled it enough times and could
Mhm.
kind of like point in the direction of, hey, I think it came from the person that walked into this bee hut type of thing.
Right. Yeah.
And so yeah, I mean, there was. Do you remember when they got the MPs to search my whole room with the dog? Do you
Oh,
remember
yeah.
that?
Yeah.
In Afghanistan,
Yeah. I was like,
over like somebody stole a laptop or money or
yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Somebody did something, and they were like, and they said that it was the guy that came out of my B hut,
Yeah.
right? And I wasn't even. I was at the motor pool, and I come back, and I'm like, oh, why can't I go in my B hut? Oh, they're in there searching. Searching for what? Searching
Yeah.
for money or in a laptop or something like that. And they searched
Right.
my whole thing, dude. They turned that thing upside down like it was the SWAT team or something.
Yeah.
And of course, didn't find anything because I had no idea even what they were talking about. But yeah, dude, these characters were just like trying to get me from the get go.
Right. And so all this time in Afghanistan, though, I know you and Carter were doing some freestyle to include, guys. This gentleman right here and Carter actually did a true freestyle with John Cena.
Oh yeah,
I am
John
not
Cena.
lying.
Oh
Yep.
yeah, I forgot. Yeah, when the tribute to the troops.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
So all right, let me tell you that. Can I tell that story real quick?
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, like he said, me and Carter were. I mean, we had this really crappy laptop. We had this like headset that we would just lay down tracks. We would just find these instrumentals that were free and just rap over them and just have fun, right? So when the tribute to the troops came, all of a sudden they were like, all right, everybody that wants to go meet all the wrestlers. I mean, I'm talking about like Triple H. I don't
Mhm.
even know a bunch of wrestlers like that, but dude, all of them were there. John Cena was
Yeah.
there. And
Yeah.
so he
Vince
was
McMahon
across
was there.
Mitch McMahon.
JBL.
Yeah, you probably know more than I
Mankind.
do.
Trish Stratus was there. We had John Cena, of course. Uh, Carlito was there. Um, Several others. I can't remember all of
Yeah.
them were there, but
Oh yeah,
those were yeah.
they weren't shady. They brought the whole crew.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so yeah, so I remember seeing John Cena and I was like, dude, how do I get him over here out of these hundreds of people that he wants to say hi to, right? And somebody was like, hey, tell him go like this to him. And I was like, all right, what does that mean, right? So he's just like, "Hey, you want him to come over here? Yell John C and do that to him." So I said it like 3 or 4 times, John C. He'd look over, John C. And finally, dude, you could tell I said it like 4 times. He got so mad. So he's trucking over here around all these soldiers on the way over here. I'm like, dude, like, what does that mean? What did I just? He's like, that means he can't see you, or whatever. Like that's what he would do on his famous move or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he would do something like that, or I don't even know. And so he comes over, and when he comes over, he's like, "What? What do you want?" And I'm like, I just want to freestyle with you." And he's like, "All right, go ahead, kick it." And I was like, nobody had no instrumental or nothing. I was just going a cappella, and somehow my brain didn't freeze, and I just like started rapping. I don't even remember what I was saying. And then he immediately, as soon as I got done, he was like, "Oh, bam! I'm with the soldiers and I'm stacking fatigues." Boom, boom. Like he killed it too. And then Carter went, and dude, we were just everybody was like, "What? Did that just happen?" Like it was cool as heck, dude.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was
And
dope.
that's why, like, I watch a little wrestling, and for those that don't know, that don't watch wrestling, John Cena at the beginning of this year actually became a heel, which if you don't know what a heel is, then it's somebody that plays a bad guy. John always played as a
Oh
good guy.
yeah.
He would play as a head. Um, and when he turned heel, I was like, I don't believe him being a heel because he's such a good guy real life. Like he did a freestyle with Adam and Carter. He's touring with the USO. Like he's volunteering to tour with the USO and meeting these. He was all about the military. So I was
Yeah.
like, when he turned heel, I was like, he's just breaking it. He's breaking it. He's gonna come back, And I was like probably one of the only ones that had real respect for him because I knew what kind of person he was. Because you
Yeah.
know, uh, our unit not only were we able to meet them, but that's we were one of the only units like Adam and everybody else got to meet them because our pilots were moving them around all over Afghanistan.
Yeah.
A lot of our soldiers, including me, were pulling security for them. So we got that task, which was like,
Yeah.
whoa, you know.
Yeah.
So it was awesome. So meeting him and Vince McMahon, and I've got I've got pictures galore, or my mom has pictures galore. And you were telling me before the stream that Sergeant Stanky had a video of that, but I can't
Yeah.
find it.
Yeah, I'm telling you. And the funny look, when you're talking about how cool John Cena was, so he not only went to Bagram, but he took, like you were saying, he was flying around and went to all these different FOBs, which is the forward operation bases that are smaller places where people that wouldn't had a chance to meet him, and he was meeting them. And the one, all right, so when I was in, it was Oregon E. You remember Oregon E?
Yeah.
So that was one of the forward operation bases that I went to. I ended up meeting up with a guy from California or North Carolina. He had a studio there, right? I
Hmm.
go rap on it. Long story short, I'm 99.9% sure that when John Cena went there, he ended up rapping at the same studio too after that. So he was
Probably.
just going around like rapping with everybody, dude. He was legit.
Yeah. Yeah. And um, I do seem to remember. Didn't you post on Facebook? You were a guard near the ramp of the things,
Yeah.
weren't you? Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
when the actual wrestling was going on TNT, it was
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure it was TNT. Yeah, so I'm sitting, they wanted to make it look like the wrestlers were coming out of like an army operations tent, like when they
Yeah.
rolled onto the stage. So they had, it was me, and I mean it was a bunch of people that were switching out, but I was there at one time where it was me. I'm standing there in my desert camos, my K-pot, my Kevlar M16, and we're acting like we're like protecting all the wrestlers inside, And so
Right.
I'm sitting there, and my brother was going through the tapes when my mom died, finds this VHS, right? And there I go as a little 23-year-old guy, just sitting there looking
No.
all army like, yeah, I'm protecting everybody. It was funny.
Yeah. Yeah. What's up,
But
producer? Welcome.
yeah. But so look, when I got out of when I left Afghanistan and went back to Germany, is so I was getting out of the army then, and not only me but Head was getting out of the army, and then Wright and Amaya, right? So it's us four. We're all getting out of the army and leaving Germany at the same time. So when we go do our plane ticket, we ask the lady, "Hey, can you give us a layover in Amsterdam?" You know, for said reasons. And so she goes, "Yeah, how many day layover you guys want?" And we go, "As many as you can give us." And she was like, "I can give you a 7-day layover in Amsterdam." So we get to the airport and we're flying, and for whatever reason, like a connecting flight, it was snowing so much. They were like, "Oh, the flight's delayed, but we can give you a train ticket instead." So we ended up hopping on the train, and we get to Amsterdam. Right when we get to Amsterdam, Head gets off on the wrong exit. he gets out of the train, and we're like, "What is he doing?" He doesn't get back in on time, right? This was before we had cell phones. Nobody has cell phones. This is 2006, right? We're not like having cell phones, and we
Right.
we go to this final exit. Long story short, we lost him, dude, or he lost us.
Yeah.
So we're like, we're in Amsterdam. We had no idea where he was. And the only thing we could think of is, man, what's that one hotel that we were talking about, right? So we remember we go to this hotel. 4 hours later, he shows up. He's like, man, all I could think of was the name of this hotel, and I was just hoping you guys would be here, right? So he finally shows up, and we had the time of our life for the next 6 days. We were going in all these weed shops, smoke shops,
Yeah.
just sitting there at a like a relaxed area, smoking joints, smoking blunts.
Hmm.
I mean, they even had like mushroom stores where you go in and buy
Wow.
shrooms.
Wow. I didn't even know they
So
had
yeah,
mushroom stores. Wow.
yeah. So we had a great time when we were leaving Afghanistan for sure.
Yeah. Well, that actually brings in kind of segues into what was the transition like from being, you know, in the military going into civilian life? How easy was it? How tough was it for you?
I mean, for me, I think it was. I mean, it was a good trade off for me because I was like, oh, I get to be back with my family, like get to see my brother, my mom, some of the
Mhm.
friends that I've still hung on to. But the bad part is that all the friends that you were that close to in the army are now like that far away,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it sucks. And then just by, rule of location, you kind of grow apart a little bit,
Hmm.
and you're trying to hang on to memories like, oh man, I remember when we were doing this and laughing and just standing in between the bee huts, and just remember over by your bee hut where you had that little area, a little chill area,
Yeah. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it was like where it had the bench and stuff.
Yeah.
So that was like I remember being over there, like people playing video games, just like having like those memories,
Right. Yeah.
that's hard, right? But I think some of it is like emotional when you think about it. Like, just for instance, starting to care about stuff that you had to block out. Like, you wouldn't, when you're in Afghanistan, you're not thinking about, oh, it's Easter, or
Mhm.
oh, it's Christmas. I mean, you might celebrate your birthday if somebody remembers, or if
Right.
not, you're telling one or two people. So
Right.
it's like that type of stuff, like when you're around your family and they don't understand like why you don't care about Easter, and you're like, I don't know why, like just don't, or just that's just an example.
Right.
Like the emotional part is a little
Right.
bit hard to do, but for me, like, I was a mechanic, so it was easy for me to get a job.
Hmm.
I didn't, have a problem with that, so that was good.
Right.
So I'm grateful for the military for that, for sure.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. With
uh,
me when I transitioned, like I wasn't I don't know if this happened to you. It might have. But for me, like I nobody ever called me by my first name in the
yeah,
military.
yeah,
It was always my last name, you know? So when I
yeah,
came out, like people would think I was intentionally ignoring them because they're like, Mike, Michael, Michael, Mike, Mike. And then they would just call out my last name and I'm like, what? And they're like, why were you ignoring me? And I'm like, it didn't register. My brain didn't say, oh, that's my name. They're calling me,
yeah.
you know? Did you experience that yourself or
Um, no, but I tell you, on the other side, like when I was in the military and I had certain friends that would call me by my first name, if
Mhm.
if they called me by my last name, it was like, I'm like, why is blah blah calling me Lutch? It's like, because some people you say
Yeah.
Lutch, some people so you call them their first name. It just
Yeah.
mattered.
Yeah.
But no, not for me. It was. I
Oh,
just
okay.
remember. Let's see. I remember when I got a break and I didn't have to do any work. didn't have to go to formation. Like that was
Yeah.
super nice.
Right. Yeah. Did you
But
did you ever wake up and, like, your mind was telling you you were still in the military? Like, you looked at the clock and
like
you're like, "I'm
I'm
late for
late for
formation."
yeah, I'm late for formation. Oh crap. No, not really. I don't think
Uh,
so. No, but yeah, I missed it. And then over the years, you get calls from, I got a call from Carter's mom. I remember sitting at one of my friends' houses and her calling me and me seeing the number and being like, if she's calling me this late, that's weird, right? Telling
mhm,
me that Carter had died. And I was like, oh man, like even though I was far away from him, we were still best friends in the army, and
yeah,
remained close afterwards.
mhm,
So that was like, the first time that somebody, I guess, because I was still, relatively young. It was the
mhm,
first time somebody close to me, I heard that died,
mhm,
especially like unexpected. You know what I mean? I think it's different
right,
if you're like, oh, they have 3 years to live because they have stage 4 cancer. You kind
right,
of maybe it's different, but yeah. So like that was tough.
yeah.
That was tough for sure.
Yeah, we've lost a few,
Yeah,
I
Branch.
yeah, we lost Branch, gave into his inner demons, or the demons in his head. I shouldn't say inner demons,
Yeah,
but demons in his head. Sergeant Day.
yeah,
Uh,
Sergeant Day. Yeah,
yeah, that for me was a big one. Like when I found out,
yeah.
me and Sissy got close because Sissy, Sergeant Day's wife, was like, my second mom when I was with the unit. And she
Okay,
was
I didn't
always.
know that. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, because when we were in Fort Hood, me and Owen got into a lot of trouble,
yeah.
uh, and
I
then when we
forgot
got
about that character.
Germany, they kind of took it upon themselves. They were like, "Look, no more trouble, guys. Okay, no more trouble.
Yeah.
Instead of going out there and causing trouble, come over to the house, blah blah blah."
Oh, cool.
So and they would invite us to go bowling, they would do that. So, Sergeant Day kind of became like my second father.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
uh, but yeah, talking about the tragedy, that's and uh, tell those that maybe kind of like thinking, that this is the end of the road and the best thing to do is, maybe end your life. Tell them a little bit about how it affects us, the ones that are left behind. You know,
Yeah, I mean, I mean, you never forget about that person, but you always, you're always saying like, dude, if they would have just said something, I could have just been if like, hey, like, let's go on a trip, meet me halfway. I'll drive from California and you
right?
drive from Virginia, and we'll meet in Arkansas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we'll do that for each other, and mostly any friend that you have, even if it's not a military friend, if
Mhm.
you tell your friend anything, you just open up a little bit, you'll see like, oh, okay, they care about me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Even if you don't think anybody does care about you, somebody cares about you. And then on
Mhm.
a deeper thing, I mean, spiritual wise, every person's here to accomplish a mission as their soul's mission. You might have more than one, but chances are, um, when you do that, your soul is going to regret it because you didn't get to accomplish the missions or, do
Mhm.
good deeds and do a bunch of stuff that, your soul is going to be, like feeding your soul. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So, yeah, I mean, all it takes is a call or even a Facebook post, and most people will read into it and somebody will message you and be like, hey, you good?
Yeah.
And when somebody asks you if you're good, don't just
Yeah.
say, "No, I'm not." Don't lie and
Right.
say you're good. Just say, "No, I'm not good."
Mhm.
And then you'll, be in a better place.
Right. Right. Even if
For
you're a
sure.
man, like I know most men are taught to be tough and not to show any emotion, and most men, I mean, there's a lot of there's a lot of songs out there about, and channels out there and whatever that talk about, opening up, but it's serious, like
Yeah,
if Adam wanted to one day, like, if world was overwhelming him, if he called me up and he was crying, I'm not gonna laugh at Adam, and I know Adam
no,
wouldn't laugh at me because he would be like, "Dude, let it all out. You'll
yeah,
feel better," because those tears and those cries are just that inner cry, and
yeah, and that'll help heal you sometimes too.
yeah, yeah. A lot of times you feel much better. I'm Moonchild, who's in here. She could tell you. I've called her up one time. I was just overwhelmed, and she let me cry. And I told her, I said, "Thanks for letting me cry. I needed that, and it
Yeah,
doesn't make you weak, you know.
yeah,
To me, I think if you call me and cry to me, I will see you as a strong person because I'm like, this person just, you know, uh, doesn't really care how I feel about them.
yeah,
They, you know, that to me is a strong person. So if you're
yeah.
out
No,
there,
I agree. Yeah,
yeah, if you're out there and you feel like that, reach out to somebody for sure. Because Adam and I have, like, I was closer to Branch and I was closer to Sergeant Day than I was Carter. But I mean, even when I got the news about Carter, I was devastated,
yeah,
And the first thing I thought of too, I was like, damn, I hope Adam's all right, because I know
yeah,
how close you guys got, you know.
yeah. So on a good note, speaking of Carter, I told you this before we went on air live, but I'm gonna tell them. So you know how the world works in mysterious ways, and whatever you can call it, the universe, God, or coincidence or synchronicities. So I got a call from one of our former military brats, or whatever you call it, Paralysis.
Mhm.
She called me and said, "Hey, Lutch, you available to work for a gig, a contract gig?" Yeah, well, we're now going into it. So I went and did the gig, and I'm in San Antonio, Texas, and my flight doesn't leave till 3 p.m. And I remember, oh, Carter's mom. So I called
Mhm.
Carter's mom, and I was able to go and see her and laugh and just
Yeah.
she's reminiscing about different stuff and
Mhm.
laughing about stories and oh, remember when you guys did this and it was cool, but like, you know, for me, like I was such a close friend to him that I don't feel like I wasn't like, oh, I owe it to him to be close to his mom. I just
Mhm.
like had a feeling like, hey, she's like my second mom. Like you
Right.
said, Sergeant Day was like your second dad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like, hey, this is my adopted mom. I got to go see her.
Right.
And I mean, yeah. So to segue into like more music stuff. So when I was in Kentucky after I got out of the military, I was doing a little bit of hip hop on my own, but until I met, for me, it's like my synergy of hip hop works a lot better if it's me and another guy. And
Mhm.
we have a little bit different styles, but we got like similar mindset on what songs we want to write. It just makes for good music. You know what I mean? Just like
Yeah.
when me and Carter were doing it, he would come up with the hooks and I would write some of the verses and he was like the hook master, right? Then I meet this guy in Kentucky. We start making music. He was gonna go do a show, right? And it was his first live performance ever. And the guy that was gonna perform with him either backed out or like was an alcoholic or something happened to him. And he was like, man, I was gonna perform. So I'm like, well, hey, let's make some music together. So we had like 6 days before the performance. We go perform. We did awesome. We then over the next years, we're just like doing shows where people had been doing shows for 10 years, So we're like thinking, hey, this is 2013, 2014. I'm like, why don't we go to why don't we go to California and we can just be famous rappers, you know? I mean, I had no idea the business side of it or anything. I was just like trying to live out a dream. Like, I mean, if I'm doing hip hop, I might as well go to California and try and make it.
Right.
So in 2014, I moved from Kentucky to Long Beach, California,
Mm.
and I had no job. I had no car. I barely had any money saved up. And we were just like, we're going. So me and my buddy, we moved into a motel for like the first 2 months before we got our apartment. We're going all over California doing shows. Like we're in Bakersfield, California. We're in East LA, which if anybody knows East LA, it's like the last place you're gonna see. Oh, by the way, the other guy that's rapping with me is white too, right? So we're two white boys going out to East LA and all these places where people are looking at us and they're like, oh, these guys are gonna suck, right? Then we go up and like my goal is when I perform, I don't want to do this karaoke rapping where I have the song played in the background and I'm just like lip syncing. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
No, we have all instrumental and we're just ripping it. So our
Yeah.
live performance was always good. And I mean, we had fun doing it, but long story short, we didn't make it. You know, the business side, and to be honest with you, over the years, like, so whenever you're doing something, whether it be like you're making a movie or you're making a song or you're writing a book, you're always going to think that your next thing you come up with is, oh, this is so good. This is so good. This is like our best song ever, right? Then
Mhm.
a year goes by, 2 years go by, and you're like, that song was all right, or that book was all right, but I'm going to write another book, you know, and it's better. It's better. It just keeps getting
Yeah.
better just the
Right.
more you practice your craft. And
Mhm.
so, yeah, I mean, hey, I mean, I still do it for fun
Yeah.
and I freestyle for fun, but I don't, you know, I'm not trying to like go out and make money. I'll like go out to
Right.
an open mic. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
but yeah.
that's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
So, kind of build your audience up. Where can people find MC Desperado?
So you can go on YouTube. I got a few like videos where I've had somebody in Long Beach that was a videographer.
Mhm.
For the money I had at the time, I could only afford to do like half videos, so it's like half of the song. But yeah, you can go on MC Desperado, search MC Desperado on YouTube. You can
Okay.
search on SoundCloud, SoundClick, MC Desperado. You can go on iTunes, Desperado, Jukebox. Yeah, I've got some songs out there, so and you can see like the earlier songs. You'll see progression and how the studio quality is better in certain songs than other songs. But
Right, right. I mean,
yeah, I have
it's what
fun doing it, and for me, it's more of like a creative outlet. And it's
mhm,
like that's my me using my creativity, just trying to come up with either freestyles or
mhm.
just songs, in general.
So what is your main, like, inspiration behind, like,
To be
what
honest with you,
inspired you?
I never had an inspiration behind hip hop. It was just I liked the music and I enjoyed freestyling. And
Mhm.
so then I would just started, oh, well, let me see if I can come up with songs. And so I just have fun doing it. And sometimes it might sound weird, but sometimes when I'm writing a song, right, I think I'm writing it like to someone else, like to where I want the listener to listen to it and ask themselves the questions. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
have this song called "Do You Still." Oh, thanks, brother. Appreciate it. Or whoever
Yeah,
that is might be
that's
a
moon.
woman. Sorry.
Yeah, it's alright, it's alright. Yeah,
All
that's
right.
that's a woman, that's Moonchild,
All right.
there's
Thanks,
there's
Moonchild.
the link. Yep.
Yeah. So, but when I'm writing these songs, seems like I'm writing them to somebody else, and then like a year go by, and I'll listen to it, and it's like I'm writing it for myself. So
Mhm.
it's spiritual, like healing in a hidden way. And then now that I live like a spiritual life now, where whatever that is, it's hard to describe, but I'm basing my songs off my spirituality
Right.
and just, life in general.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. So you would kind of say that it's like a spiritual out outward perspective of yourself when you're doing the songs, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah, for
Okay.
sure now. I mean, when you're rapping with somebody else, you have to kind of like not sacrifice a little bit of that, but when you're making a song and somebody else wants to make a song, it has to be like a 50-50 agreement thing.
Right.
So it's, when I'm rapping by myself now, I'm able to just make a whole song about, energy. I just
Right.
call the song Energy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, speaking of which, I think I saw that
That energy.
on
Yeah.
yeah, the energy one. I think it was on Instagram. I saw it on. I think.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's on Instagram and YouTube and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I
You
think
can
he.
go on Instagram. I mean, there's like, I don't really, to be honest with you, like last year my mom passed away. And so, like, I kind of shifted a lot of the stuff and the energy that I put into stuff into different stuff.
Mhm.
So I still do hip hop, and I used to go on Instagram and put freestyles up all it. I mean, I probably got like 850 videos of me
Right. Yeah.
rapping,
You have a
right?
lot.
Like
Yeah.
I
You have
was
a
on
lot
there
on there.
like all the time, yeah. And I just lost interest in it, and I was like, you know what? I'm good. I don't like. I just don't have interest in it anymore. Like I'll still
Right.
freestyle and send it to my friends or be like, hey, check this out. But
Right. Yeah.
but yeah, but yeah, that's on MC Desperado as well. So
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So what is it that you do now in the civilian
so
realm?
I used to do all right. So when I moved out to California, I stopped being a mechanic and started doing construction.
Hmm.
And then in the midst of that, I was using my GI Bill. So I got an entrepreneurship degree and a marketing degree. And so I use that to do project management for different people, whether it be like a small business owner or an inventor that has a product he wants to bring to market.
Hmm.
And that way on the side, I mean, my passion is to create new products or improve existing ones.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's my passion. That's like my life purpose, as I was saying earlier. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So I do the project management to make money and then do my inventions, you know,
Right.
too. So,
Any inventions that some people might know?
so I don't have any patents approved yet.
Okay.
Right. So at first I was an aspiring inventor, which just meant that I was wasting time, and just not doing anything. I'm like, oh, I have
Right.
ideas. So
Right.
now I actually put in March, I put in a patent for, and I can say kind of what it is because you won't be able to figure it out. Nobody will be able to figure it anyway, but a
Yeah.
certain type of bed that's in a hospital.
Hmm.
So the patent is for a fitted sheet for that bed because
Oh.
one doesn't exist for it because of the type of bed it is,
Right.
which is like an easy idea that
Yeah.
somebody else gave me.
Hmm.
And I'm working with them and we're gonna split the money. So yeah, it's
Okay.
funny how stuff works like that. And
Right.
another one, the one that have right now that I haven't done a patent for, it's for the billiard industry. That's like the most details I can give, but
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So there could be a chance that someone may see you on Shark Tank, right?
yeah, well, I mean, to be honest with you, hopefully I don't have to go on Shark Tank because Shark Tank is
Right.
cool. Like you get to be on TV, but that means
Yeah.
most of the time it's like, oh, we need this, we need that.
Yeah.
Like I'm hoping that, well, I still have to decide, when you have a patent, you have to decide, do you want to manufacture it yourself? You want to do like the
Mhm.
selling of it yourself, or you don't want to license it to somebody and just be done with it, right?
Right.
But there's pros and cons because you're going to make less money licensing most likely because it's
Mhm.
not proven,
Mhm.
and it might take more work to do it yourself, but you're going to make a lot more money, right? So
Right.
you still have to I have to decide that, when every time a patent gets approved, like, all right, what are you going to do with it?
Right. right. Yeah. So, is there any other stories that you have that you're willing to share with everybody that's not,
Let's
you know,
see.
not gonna dox you or anything, you know?
No, no. Okay, here's one story that was kind of funny. So we were doing a performance, me and my other hip hop guy. His name's Joey Sherrard. His
Okay.
stage name was Jukebox because he had the memory of a jukebox. Could remember any song like that, like bam, and just
Right.
recite it. So
Oh, wow.
we were on Hollywood Boulevard doing a show at this. I mean, the place was all right. It was like, there's if you hear Hollywood Boulevard, it sounds great, but there's like different parts of it, right? So
Right.
this was the part where it was like, it was all right. So
Yeah.
we're sitting there waiting to perform, and when you're a hip hop artist and you're trying to make it, sometimes like just getting the time of when you're going to perform is like a miracle because
Mhm.
something's going wrong with the bookie or something. Oh, you guys are going on at 11:30, not 10:30. Oh, great. Right. So we're
Right.
sitting there. This happened this night. They say we're going to go on. We're waiting to go on. And I look over and in walks Busy Bone.
Oh,
Or no,
wow.
Crazy Bone. Whichever the
Crazy.
light
Oh,
skinned one, the fast, the
yeah.
one that was, maybe it's Busy. I forgot. Busy or Crazy Bone, one of them two.
Right.
So he walks in. He's just like chilling with him and he doesn't even have security. He has like just one or two people with him. He's
Right.
like chilling. He walks up to the booking guy, the booking agent. He's like, "Hey, what's up?" Blah 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 blah. And the booking agent's like pointing to all these different artists that he's got going up, right? And we're like, "Oh, dang, let's go. We get to rap in front of Busy Bone. Let's go." I was like, "This is gonna be dope." So he
Right.
comes up to us. I was like, I'm gonna go introduce myself. So I walk up to him and I'm like, hey, I'm a big fan. I was like, I love your music, man. I was like, it's just, it's nice to meet you. And I go to say what's up to him, and he like gives me a handshake and looks at me. And this guy must have been on like, I don't know what drugs, right? But he was so messed up that he looked at me and just wiped his face and was like he couldn't believe he was seeing a white rapper. I don't know what it was, you know. And so then I'm like, I guess now I'm not too excited about performing in front of him because he probably isn't going to remember anything that happens
Right.
tonight anyway. But okay, so then it was like 12 o'clock and we still hadn't gone on, and we're in Hollywood Boulevard, and I was like, you know what? I'm done with this guy. We were like, we're bouncing, right? We're just going to leave. So we leave the place and didn't even get to perform. We were both so mad. We were like, "Oh, we want to go whoop this dude, right?" But we're like, "No,
Right.
let's get up out of here." We had to drive back to Long Beach, right? So hey, that's showbiz sometimes. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
sometimes you're like you go on at the perfect time, and sometimes you have to wait 3 hours, and then you just get so sick of it you leave.
Right.
But yeah, good times,
Wow.
good times.
Yeah. Yeah. So darn missed opportunity. One you'll never know what if he remembers it or not now, right?
Yeah, I saw his face. He was so folded. He was like, he could barely even comprehend he was talking to me. He was like, "Whoa."
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So
And in long
have you
and
met?
so sorry, go
Go
ahead.
ahead. No, you go
All
ahead.
right, so when I was in Long Beach, here's my other when I was in Long Beach, I met what's his name? Lil Bow Wow.
Oh, wow.
Chad, whatever his name is, Shad
Mhm.
something, the guy who was in who was he?
Be like Mike
Yeah, and
or
then he was
yeah.
in Fast and Furious.
Yeah, yeah.
I met him in Long Beach, like when I was working out at some park,
Yeah, don't
and
mind me, I
then
just got a little linky.
one time I was an extra on Love and Hip Hop.
Oh, man.
Dude, it was so funny. I just signed up, and they'd be like, "Yeah, you're gonna be an extra. They come to Hollywood, right?" So I go to the Hollywood Boulevard, the nice part of it, and I'm dressed up in this suit that I actually bought in Afghanistan, looking like a G, right? It was
Yeah.
the season with Soldier Boy and Omarion.
Oh.
And so here I go in being an extra in this bar scene, and they pair me up with this like Asian chick that's like really hot and in this like nice dress. And they're like, "You guys just stand here and blah blah." And I remember just everything about it was so fake. I was, it was the longest. It was like a 12-hour day of being an extra. And then
Wow.
I get back to Long Beach, and somebody stole my bike. I get off the train because I had to take the train. I didn't have a car. So I
Yeah.
take the train from Hollywood to Long Beach. I get off the train to go get on my bike, and somebody stole it. I'm like,
Oh,
dang.
dang.
So I had to walk all the way home in a four-piece suit.
No. Wow. Wow. So there you have it. We're gonna have to go back and watch that episode
I
and
know I
see if
tried
we
to
can find.
find it. I could never. If somebody finds it, look,
Oh.
it's the season with Omarion and Soldier Boy, and it's when they're
Mhm.
in this. It's a scene where they're in this bar. I forgot, or it's a club or something.
Mhm.
And then Omarion performs one song, "Supposed to Be."
Right.
Remember that "Supposed to Be"? I don't know if you remember it, but
Oh yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So he performed that song like in front of everybody while we were there. So yeah, if somebody finds it, let me know. I'll Venmo you $25 if somebody finds it.
Yeah.
Find it.
Right.
I'll Venmo you 25.
Okay. Go ahead and tell another story. I got to take care of my kid real quick.
All right,
Whichever
all right,
story you want.
all right, cool.
Yeah, let me,
All right, let me see. What other stories? This is story time. All right. I'll tell a story about when I was doing open mic at this place called Shades of Africa. So this store in on 4th Street in Long Beach, California is called Shades of Africa. And in the back room, it's like probably, you know, 50 people you can sit in there. They do open mic on Saturday. So here I go, like in there on a Saturday, the only white dude in the whole place, and I'm gonna do open mic. And I'm like, I mean, all right, so they say when you go up on stage, if you're not nervous, something's wrong, right? And I was definitely nervous right then, dude. And so here I go performing, and I just went up there and ripped it. Just I forgot which solo song I did. Maybe like "Never What They Wanted." Oh yeah. So I got this solo song called "Never What They Wanted," and I just ripped this song like ungodly, and everybody in the whole place was going crazy after I did it. And yeah, imagine being like in a place called Shades of Africa as a white rapper. Like, it's a little crazy, but the- almost like when I went to East LA and me and my boy Jukebox were going to do this show. We get off the bus at the wrong time, and we got to walk through this like, oh, I'm talking about like you could tell they had never seen a white dude walk through there. Like when we walked through there, they were like, "What? These characters are really walking through the hood?" Like, and somehow like we were all right. I don't even know how, but let's see. I think that's about all the stories I got. Let me think. Do I have another story? Oh, what kind of stories I got? Oh yeah, okay. Here's a story. Yeah, we drive to this place in Bakersfield from Long Beach, California. We rent a car. We're gonna do this performance in Bakersfield. We get to the place, the venue, and it was burnt down. The whole building was burnt, right? And so we're trying to figure out what's going on, if we got duped to drive all this way and the place isn't even there. And then they tell us, oh no, it's down the street. It's at a new place. So we drive from there like 15 minutes. We get down to this place that's supposedly where we're going to do the performance, and you're in the parking lot, and you can hear people doing singing karaoke, and I'm thinking, oh no, I'm not going into this place that's singing karaoke and performing hip hop. No, but turns out it was just a hookah bar slash karaoke bar, and then you walk in the back, and that's where the club is. I mean, dude, it was so ghetto. Like it was so ghetto in like a way like they tried to cram everything they could into this building for sure. Especially, I guess, after the other place burnt down. It was funny. But all right, I think that's all the stories I got for you. After whiskey, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. We definitely needed some whiskey after that. And then, like, was it a bodega? No, I don't think so. But it's funny, like, so being a hip hop artist and being white. All right, so it's always like a good reaction, right? So when you go up on stage, everybody always thinks that you're gonna be bull, and they're like, look, we know that this guy is gonna suck at rapping, so if he's any good at all, he's at least gonna get some respect. Who we got in? Oh, I see the chat now. There we go. What was the link to MC Desperado? Oh, that was the YouTube. Okay, yeah. Go on SoundCloud. You can find some on there. You can find some on iTunes. Probably some on Spot. Actually, yeah, on Spotify. The album that me and Joey put out is on Spotify. Where y'all going to the marina? Who's got the boat here? Who's got the boat?
Oh, sorry about that. I had to give my kids medicine.
That's cool. Somebody's in the chat talking about come on down to the marina.
Oh, where?
You know what boat
Oh,
means, right?
boat.
Do y'all know what boat means? You know what that translates to? You hear
Uh,
me?
I don't know what that translates to. What does that mean?
Bust out another 1,000.
Oh, yeah.
And how about Ford? You know Ford, right? You know the abbreviation for
Found,
Ford?
found on road dead.
Yep. And then
Yeah.
Chevy. You know the joke about the Chevy?
I don't know that.
So if you listen real closely, you can hear a Chevy rusting somewhere.
That's a good one.
Yeah. All
Catching
right.
up on
I
that.
would I would tell a joke, but I don't think it's suitable if you said we can't cuss.
Oh no, you can go ahead. I mean,
All right, no,
yeah.
I don't know if I can say this one. It's not even my joke. I just heard it.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't know
go
if
ahead.
I don't know if I want to end on that note, so I want to keep it out.
That's okay. That's okay. Yeah. I mean, it's like I said before, most of the audience knows that, yeah, like Rome says, viewer discretion is advised and shit. So,
All right, okay. All right, here's a joke that I heard. All right, all right, dude. If it's not funny, it's not funny. All right, well, I didn't come up with it.
all right.
Okay, so my buddy, he said that his wife called him and was like, "Hey, hurry up and get home." And he was like, "Why? Everything okay?" And she's like, "Yeah, everything's fine." She's like, "I'm just feeling a little bit horny." And so he was like, "Okay." And he gets to the house and he's like, "All right, so what do you mean you're feeling horny? What do you want to do foreplay or what?" And he goes, she goes, "No." She goes, "All I want to tell you is that I want all 6 inches and I want to bleed." And he said, "Oh shit." And I asked him, I said, "So what happened?" He said, "I fucked her twice and punched her in the nose."
There you go.
So if anybody that went over their head, he had to fuck her twice to give her the 6 inches.
Rome loved that. Rome loved that one. There you go. There you go, Rome.
I forgot
But
where I heard that. It was somebody. I forgot it was on a podcast or what. It had me rolling.
yeah. So this twice. So as you can tell, Adam, it's been a month. I took a month off, and I'm just taking a different direction. And you're the first one to be on Veteran Voices, and
Nice.
this is what all the viewers should be seeing from now on. It's either going to be Veteran Voices next weekend. I'm going to have OP1 Vet, which is an organization centered around helping to stop veteran suicide.
Oh, that's
Uh,
awesome.
so we're going to have organizations come on here. We're going to have military talk, which it could be a debate or whatever. It could be like one
Oh
of the
yeah, I saw
debate.
you were trying to
Yeah,
recruit two people. That's a good idea. Yeah, it's how you
yeah,
get
yeah,
good content. You never know.
yeah, yeah. That center it around military. Um, and all that. And so the videos that are going to be coming out too are going to change. I'm having Motivational Monday, which you guys is make sure you guys subscribe and hit that bell notification so you can see those. And what those are, Adam, I'm going to tell you, this is really cool. For the longest time when I got out, I was like, remember we did the cadences, right? We had
Oh
all
yeah,
different kinds of cadences that we used to do. And a lot of for the longest time I was like, I wonder how these would sound, as a rap or, maybe like depending on their style, like what genre of song would it be? And
yeah.
so, with the new technology of AI music and all that, well, I've been making them, and some of them
Nice.
some of them are like metalcore, some of them are just heavy metal, uh some of them are raps, some of them are funk, uh
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
all that. So those are going to be the motivational Monday. I'm going to try to tie in some videos. Some of them I'm not going to give everybody a little bit too much of a spoiler, but some of them come out really funny as like raps, and I was like, how funny would it be if I did like a if I dressed up like this and did kind of like a dance to it, like
Oh, it'd
twerked
be
a little
awesome. And
bit.
lip sync
Yeah.
it. Yeah, heck yeah. You got to do it.
Yeah. Well, there's this one that's I don't know if you remember the Potbelly cadence. It was like pot belly, pot belly, pot belly. First sergeant's got a pot belly. CEO's got a pot belly. Well, I did that. It came out as a rap, and I was like, I'm gonna stick a pillow up in there, and I'm gonna walk around with a pot belly, and I'm gonna be doing a
Oh yeah,
dance to it.
dude, that sounds
Just
heck yeah. That sounds good.
yeah, and just put it. They're gonna come out like 7:30 in the morning. That way, you know, it's a motivational Monday. Everybody's getting ready to go to work. They're either gonna laugh. And some of them might make you cry too, because I did one for uh, Airborne Ranger. Like how did you get? Airborne Ranger. How
Yeah,
did you go? You know, I did one of that, and I was like, this doesn't it's a sad song if you think about it, because the Airborne Ranger didn't make it back. He came back in a coffin.
yeah.
So it's like, so there might be some that are a little sad. there's going to be inspirational quotes, like it's going to have this soldier's creed, the warrior's creed, all kinds of mottos and everything. So um, changing the direction, and I'm glad that you decided, that you would come up here and share your story, and I'm hoping
Yeah,
that
for sure.
everybody enjoyed it. And if you know if they knock on your door tomorrow, please don't mind me. But they shouldn't be able to do anything to you because it's long past. And
Oh yeah, yeah, we're good.
yeah,
We're good.
but
Well,
yeah,
cool, man. Well, that was
yeah,
awesome. Thank you so
yeah,
much. That was
yeah,
fun.
yeah. Thank you for coming
Oh,
up,
you know
man.
who I have an idea who you can have on one time. You remember the
What?
medic Greenberg?
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm gonna reach out
He
to him.
probably he probably be or and Paralysis knows him, so I can get you
Yeah,
in touch with him.
yeah. I'm actually friends with him on Facebook. I'll reach out
Okay,
to him.
cool.
Yeah, but I'm really looking forward to for the viewers watching, and I know Adam, you already know this, but I I'm looking for to host a debate. I'm going to be the moderator, and I want two females. I want a female that's the affirmative and a female that's the negative. Those that don't know debate, don't worry, reach out and talk. But they have to be veterans. They have to have served. Um, but uh, I want to do, should women have serve in a combat role? So the affirmative is saying yes, and the negative is saying no. No, they shouldn't.
Yeah.
So I and talking to some other YouTubers that do debates on YouTube, they said that would be a really good one. That would be a really good one.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting for sure. So if anybody watching, uh, make sure you guys hit that link that's in there, and check out MC Desperado. And uh, any final words? That
Um, yeah, let's say stay positive and everything happens for a reason, so try and think that, coincidences aren't coincidences, if you something happens, it's a synchronicity. So kind of try to be aware and be present in the moment. Don't think about the past, think about the future. Just stay present.
Yeah, right. Yeah, like like they say, the past is history. The
Hmm.
the future is a mystery. Today is a gift. That's why they call it the present.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, thank you for coming up, and we're gonna get ready to move on to Brain Venter's Banter, who should be live, I think. I haven't heard from her, but uh, she should be live tonight. I might go up on there in a little bit if she is live. But thanks, Adam. I appreciate
Yeah,
it, man.
thank you.
Great stories. And make sure you share this video with those non-believers that don't think that you did a freestyle
I
with
know,
John
right?
Cena.
I tell them, I'm like, dude, I'm telling you, I was rapping with John Cena. They're like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Whatever. No, I was there. I remember that. I remember you guys coming back, and because it was me, Isham, Haynes,
Yeah,
because we did that too. My name was Snickers, and they're like, "Why you call yourself Snickers?" And I
I
was like, "Cause
remember. Yeah.
Eminem was taken." so
Oh,
so
that's good.
I mean,
That's good.
yeah, I remember we were sitting in the bee hut after we did our little meet and greet and escort and all that, and heard you guys, and hey, we just did a freestyle with John Cena, and I remember seeing the video from Sergeant Stanky. I was like,
Yeah,
because
dude, I was hyped.
even we were like, really, like,
Yep.
really, no way. Where was I during this? That would have been awesome to see,
I know, I know.
because a lot of people, don't watch wrestling, don't know John Cena did his own entrance for his um for
Yeah, he
his
had he had like a little rap. He was doing his rap label called the Chain Gang,
Yeah.
and they just, I guess, that wasn't like selling or whatever, so he kind of stopped going that way or something.
Yeah. More stay. But all right, man. Well, I appreciate it, and
Yeah, thanks, brother.
I'll keep in touch for sure. And yeah, you have a good night, brother.
All right, you too, man. See you,
All right,
battle.
all right. See you. All right. Well, that was the first installment, I guess you could say, of my live stream back. Veteran voices. Um, Pretty cool stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed the stories from Adam. And first, as you can see, for some people, the transition from military life to civilian life is pretty easy. Some people find difficulty. So we're gonna have some more guests. I'm gonna try to. Of course, I'm reaching out to those that were in my unit that I do have contact with, and if you or somebody else you know may want to share their story about hardship, good times, bad times, tragedy, whatever the case may be, uh, let me know. You can reach me at battlefieldproduction2003 at gmail.com, or send me a message if you know me on Facebook, or s- put a put a comment down below in this video. And I appreciate you guys coming out. I appreciate Adam, and we might have some more stories. We might get a whole panel of veterans. That would be comedy gold right there. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Uh, Maybe we'll get some Air Force guy, Marine, Army, Navy, Space Force in the future. So thank you guys for joining us. That's all the time we have for today. Remember, life is a battlefield. Prepare to conquer it. And until next time, remember next weekend we should be having OP1 Vet Ed from OP1 Vet up here. We're going to be doing an interview and getting their mission statement, and focusing more on what this organization does for vets. Life is a battlefield. Prepare to conquer it. God bless everybody. See you next time.